Many people might not know this, but Stand Back by Stevie Nicks may as well have been one of those songs that Prince just gave away. Just a cursory listen to it will reveal that it possesses that sparkling synth magic that dominated 1999. This is because Stevie Nicks was actually heavily inspired by Prince when the idea for the song hit her. Stevie Nicks was driving down the road and pulled over when she heard Little Red Corvette on the radio. She rushed to the record store to buy a tape recorder to capture the lyrical bits she had been singing, as she was inspired by the song. This is when the story veers into urban legend territory, because the way Stevie Nicks describes Prince when she called him is the way you would describe a unicorn or some mythical figure that you have to wipe your eyes to be sure you aren't seeing. She even described him as a little spirit and that he was uncanny. Nicks explained that he put most bands to shame and that nobody could do with two synth players what he did by himself. This is high praise from someone who worked with the level of talent that Nicks did, but she could have been getting at the constant conflict of a band or the inherent simplicity and singular vision that comes from an isolated talent. Regardless, the jittering wizardry of Stand Back gets even more nebulous, however, as by Nicks' story, it would seem that Prince essentially played all of the synth parts, but some reports claim he didn't play the chords, but instead the two-note riff on the chorus. I'll just say it sounds very Prince-like to me, to the point that it would have probably fit in fine in 1999, probably right after Let's Pretend We're Married or before Delirious. The synth used in the song is the Oberheim OBXA on a brass setting, which would have been Prince's go-to around this time, more so than any other point in his career. It also has the Lane-adjacent Oberheim DMX drum hits on it, which sounds about as big as they did then. 80s drums are always pretty hit or miss to me. They either add to the song's appeal by giving it a sense of weight and period charm or make it sound dated and tacky. I'd say in this case, though, it's the latter, though the programming won't contain any of those clever nuances that Prince was known for, like the knocking rim shot. Anyway, the song's aesthetic identity is so strong that it coasted by on lyrics that essentially amounted to nonsense. You get some pieces of some rejection or maybe some social isolation, but then the song will contradict itself on the next line. There are many theories, and the most plausible one is that the song is about Stevie Nicks wanting band member Lindsay to stop her from marrying Kim Anderson, who Nicks would wind up only married to for 3 months. In the grand scale, Prince essentially gifted Stevie Nicks the idea and essence of a relatively mammoth lead single, and one Nicks would speak glowingly of and perform for years to come. This isn't the first time they would inspire each other, as Prince actually wanted Stevie Nicks to sing Purple Rain, but she claimed that the song was just too big for her, and I'm glad he kept it. And apparently When Doves Cry was also inspired by Stevie Nicks' own Edge of 17. But this is just one of those anecdotes that crop up when you have a legendary figure like Prince who just kind of cements himself in the industry and doesn't really leave.